everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Larry. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll give it here to his running back. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got room. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
To throw on 2nd down. Richard, he's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Richard setting up the screen for West. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. The first carry now for Joey Josefa. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Here's Joey Josefa. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. Now back to throw. And an alley to run. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. 3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
That was so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Fresh set of downs here. He'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tony Jefferson able to drop him for a loss of a couple. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now, saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first.
Here we go now. Blue line. Blue line.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. He's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. I feel like we just ran a marathon. That was a long drive. They probably wanted 6 if they're going to go that many plays.
And there were no checkpoints, no watering stations, nothing like that, right? Terrific job by the offense, because not only did they possess the ball for that long, they wore down the defense. That could pay dividends later.
This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Here we go. 38.
On 3rd and 2, Richard. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
A very solid gain of 27. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And now here come the Ravens. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Here we go. 1-9.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And just like that, it's third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Fielded at the 43. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab?
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. The Colts on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. Room here to run. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down. The Colts send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Throwing to start the drive. Richard. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. But tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Pressure comes and it's blocked. The Ravens block it.
Well, if you were ever wondering, should I believe my special teams coach about, if these plays are valuable? Think no more. Huge play, big block, and now they've set up their offense inside the 10-yard line. A chance to score.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Looking to throw. Richard. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and goal. Looking to throw on second down. Richard. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, ball may come your way.
And this offense on third down today, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is third and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. It's the fullback, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are in for 6. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. Back to throw here. And right side caught Hogan. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. They find some open field here. And he's brought down. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
Here we go.
from the red zone now. They'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
All right, Captain, let's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think?
And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. It's their quarterback. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And a very nice return up to the 35, but was it aided by something illegal? Let's find out.
Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Six yards to go here on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Richard, open man, it's Allen. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. The final shot before break, Richard, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Here we go. 1, 9, 5.
A final shot before break, Richard. And that is incomplete. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Ravens are behind right now, but the home crowd should give them a boost. The Colts have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Colts line up at the 46. Offensive line won't be able to hold up here. This ends up with a short loss in yardage. Late in the second, he'll head up the middle on the run, and this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown. Ravens go up by 4. Still late stages of the second. They'll go with the run here, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown, which takes the lead to 3. So that'll wrap it up for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll head back now to Baltimore for the start of the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. Uses the spin. And now running right through it. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw here. And some room to roam now. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Stevens. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that.
Now bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Ravens defense, they get ready, and they trot back out onto the field. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware they may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it.
Here we go now. Green.
third down, he'll drop to throw. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up fourth down. The Colts send out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Back to throw. Richard. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play that time for the Ravens. 49 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And they give this time to the tailback. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here we go.
To throw on 2nd down. Richard got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. The punter, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
All right, here we go. Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And he's got some space here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down. And it's in the area of holding. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Allen, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And he'll give it here to his running back. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The offense lining up 1st and 10.
Let's go. Brand 38.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking to throw on second down. Richard. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this play. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And some space here. Got some room at the 30. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, he'll drop to throw. And that's caught. It's Hogan. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Colts on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Let's go. Red 38.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Richard. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Richard. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Able to slither by. Still fighting for more. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Stevens. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They're going to look to throw, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield right at the 48. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. To throw on 2nd down. Richard. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warner. And he's brought down. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, That looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Back to throw. Richard. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. Here's Sam Cook now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Back to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit.
Let's go.
And now here's a carry heading left. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Ravens on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted, and remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. So down only 2 now, still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. The Ravens on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Ravens, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Colts, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.